The ring symbol has a lot of emotional content for me, along with the culture. But it's a very primal image from seeing the sun or the moon, a big circle, a big ring. And then there's just the iris and the pupil of the human eye. So it's a very powerful, primal symbol. And we look in each other's eyes and see the circle, the ring. And then in our culture, the ring taking on the more metaphorical, symbolic meanings of permanence and connection. I started doing the rings when I'd broken up with my girlfriend, or my girlfriend had broken up with me, is probably a little closer to how it happened. So I was looking for a way to reconnect and at the same time intellectually explore what that symbol means to our culture and to me. Printing, which is something I hadn't done that much of, that also incorporated a lot of the directions I've taken over the last 20, 30 years in doing work that incorporated found objects and incorporated man-made cast-off materials. The internal impetus took place before I came upon that big iron ring that I did a lot of my prints from, because I envisioned, at the time that I thought of doing that work, I envisioned seeking out ring forms in the world, either whether it be like sewer grates or pipe ends or plumbing things or machine parts or whatever I could find that was there in our culture to print from. Most of my artwork is process, and discovery is part of that process for me. When I go do those ring prints, it's almost ritualistic in the sense that I gather up, I think ahead of time. Yeah, I get some of the answers in my head. What materials may I use for this particular print? So I'm, picking out my materials. I get my little bags and fill them up. I get my big, whatever it is, 14-foot roll of paper and put it over my shoulder, and I got my bag, and I'm walking down the street, and the art is already, the art started when I'm thinking about what I'm going to do. Walking down the road in Rockland to do my print, I'm just walking down the road with my stuff. But there's something about being in the world, and there's other people around, and the world is going on, and I'm a part of it, artist in the world. I get there, I put it down, start to unroll the paper. If it's windy, I got to put things on. Check out the ring. I have to usually move the ring a little bit to where I'm going to print, and it's at an intersection, and cars are going by, and people are stopping, and people are definitely occasionally looking over and wondering who's the oddball. I wanted to do something different. I wanted to do something with some color. So I thought about going to buy some powdered pigments. And I thought, well, I got those spices. Those spices are like the colors I'm looking for right now, aren't they? So I'll do the spices. Once the ring has been inked up, I'll go and free the paper, carry it over and, lay it down on the ring more or less where I want the print to be. And, and I say more or less because I have some control over that. But with the wind and the paper being huge and Obviously, it isn't going to be that precise. So part of the effects, part of the accidental effects that I like happen at that, during that part of the process. Once I get the paper settled onto the ring, I have to apply some pressure fairly evenly around the ring. Once I feel confident that it's had enough pressure and time to get a good imprint, then I have to carefully pick the paper back up and deal with the wind again and try to get the print back down over and I think when I started doing the paintings, aside from just expanding my exploration in general into the symbol of the ring, I saw it as being challenging and new in a different way. With the paint, express that symbol directly from my body, directly from me. Which is a little different than making a print, okay? The end result might be about the same if you look up and you see a circle, you see a ring. Although the paintings, I think, for the most part, do have visual qualities that are in some ways different from the prints. And I think they are more expressive. We seek some kind of permanence and connection and a completing of a cycle or unending cycle in seeing a ring and seeing that perfect circle that just goes around and around. But I started to also see the ring as a corral, as much as a connection, as a way of attempting to find solace or comfort in holding something you're afraid of not being able to control, not being able to keep.